the sand and it secures the sea pen. But I don't know if it's like a fully different structure from the rock pen, honestly.
Interesting.
And for both of them, the structure that they use to anchor is called a peduncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, Jess,
Can we
if
get
you're out
220?
with Gary Williams, he
I
is the
get
guy to talk
220.
to about sea pen peduncles.
Roger.
He knows all about them.
220?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll totally pick his brain. Heck yeah, man. All right.
Jess and Greg are switching positions. She's going to take over the Herc seat.
Should we finish our intros to the back?
Oh, we never did ours.
Who are you?
Who knows? Just
Mysterious
disembodied
voices.
voices sitting in
Yeah.
the middle of the ocean.
I'm Megan Lubekin. I'm on data.
I'm gonna do a DVL.
Hi,
Can you
Megan.
get off auto X?
Hello. Hello, world.
Is that cool?
My name is
Doesn't
Holly
seem like
Richards, and
Converging
I'm
a
in
little more
the
now.
second
Maybe.
science seat, but we're calling it the science enthusiast seat here. I'm here with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and we're the agency that, in partnership with NOAA, manages the Pacific Remote Island Marine National Monument. So we're that includes 7 national wildlife refuges as well, and right now we're inside the unit of the Howland National Wildlife Refuge.
Yeah. And I'm Alexis Weinig. I'm in the watch lead chair. I am co-lead scientist for this expedition, and yeah, I study deep sea corals.
Yeah, it turned off Z-bias entirely just because between the current and everything else, it just, like, it was always different. If I was up enough, then the current was pushing me up. If I was down too much, then the current was pushing me down, so.
I see. All right. So we're going kind of downish. Turn on my Z-bias a little bit. Go back down.
Ben, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you know of any guides online for pelagic organisms?
Not entirely sure. Yeah. I kind of mostly refer to the Brusca and Brusca invertebrate zoology textbook.
Okay.
Yeah. There's one, because I have a couple books. Like there's the Claudia Mills put out a really nice like picture plate field guide for gelatinous plankton off the coast of the California coast, and then yeah, I only really know the like
The
published,
books, yeah. Gotcha.
Because I know that because you guys use the one that's published by NOAA and the Okeanos, right?
Yeah,
So
the
like, little
animal guide,
archive.
yeah.
That one's great. I want to like get it downloaded.
Yeah. Well,
Get
yes.
up on my deep sea.
That's one of
fishes
the,
and stuff.
it's a benthic deep sea guide, and I know that I think they have in the works like a midwater or pelagic guide, but
Yeah, that stuff
takes
is just
a-
more elusive.
right.
Yeah.
And it takes a long time to put those guides together, honestly.
Yeah, no. I helped with this, like one for the coral reefs of the Eastern Tropical Pacific, and it's like extensive work. Especially if you're
I'm
not good
probably
at, like,
still
latex
swinging
and
north a
stuff.
little bit.
Yeah.
Roger.
Is there some sort of kind of living document where all the additions from expeditions like this can go and people kind of open source that?
No.
There's a couple groups like that people have put together for these kind of like telepresence missions. So I know there's like a couple Facebook groups where people take screenshots, and there's actually a couple scientists that are members of the group as well, and will ID as they can and as they have time. But yeah, we all have day jobs as well, so it's kind of a lot to do the identification on the side.
Well, that's kind of what I was referring to. Like with the viewership that exists here,
Up against a 2-0.
if there were some sort of central
Sorry.
online
Up against a 2-0,
resource, that way we're not waiting for academic papers to come out, for articles to be in print, at least some sort of taxonomical reference guide for the science community.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, we got
Yeah, I find it hard when you know, if you take time off from kind of on the microscope work and stuff, because what I remember is a lot of the gestalty functional groupings, but a lot of the nitty-gritty of the species takes practice.
Yeah, absolutely. And it takes looking at things beyond just
Yeah.
with a
Image,
camera.
yeah.
Yeah, it
Cool.
takes a microscope. So,
All the heuristics.
You want to go ahead and push on in there?
Yeah.
While we have a second?
I think it's, I don't think that field is in trouble, but there was concern that people are less interested in the taxonomic ID because it
Oh,
takes
I mean,
a
I
lot
think-
of nitty-gritty.
yeah, there's some people
Yeah.
that will say it's in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that needs to be advocated for, essentially.
Because people are relying a lot on the molecular.
Yeah.
Riley, you want to come live for a moment?
But there's a real benefit to using
Understanding
both
the molecular.
molecular
Setup better.
and morphological
Right about there is good.
to kind of finalize IDs. All these looks like corallium. I just am surprised.
Go ahead and do a quick zoom on this guy here. Taking out a wrap.
You're
And
good.
This
Yeah.
corallium is still alive, like, because it
Yeah.
looks like, I think for a lot of people that are maybe more familiar with, like, you know, shallow water corals, this would look like a
Right.
dead coral.
That's a good point. So these are alive. They're naturally white. And they look knobby just because that's where the polyps are. So the polyps are retracted. And then there you can see they're
Yeah.
extended. But they don't, like we said, these don't have those algae that live in the tissue. So they're not bleached. They're not unhealthy. This is the way they naturally look. Ooh, that's a beautiful shiny lava rock.
Yeah, it is.
it
There have been
is.
some very shiny ones.
Indeed. They look pretty
Oh.
hard to sample.
You got a
These
little
guys.
Oh, yeah.
sea star there too.
Well, Goniastrid.
They do look quite hard to sample, you're right.
Let's get the crowbar.
You notice that the
You're right, come
USPL
right
is
there,
now fine.
Marley.
The crowbar is only for
Yeah, it's
intimidation value.
strange, right?
I think there's a little interface right on the
I think you're right. There's like that weird climb.
Yeah.
Oof.
I'm so
Hey,
curious.
look, Jess, I found you again.
You found me. We have less wraps.
So I think these white ones might be Pleurocorallium.
Is there
The
one in
genus of
particular?
All right, so I'm at 200.
Roger.
Which we haven't seen on other dives, so interesting. We did take a sample earlier, so that's good.
Some more rubble down there.
There's another one of those spiky bits floating in the water.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
spiky
Yeah,
bit
there
friend?
have been one or
Is
a
that
couple
the
of them.
radio
First,
there?
Like, you know, on a first look, it looks like something covered in parasitic amphipods or something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
We're gonna take a look at this one. Has
I
some
don't know,
old
I
and
think
some
it
new
is a
next to
radial
it.
area.
Marley, you want to push on in there, please?
You're looking at
That's good
coral
right
or
there.
rock?
That's good, Marley.
Mm.
This coral, it has some old
Oh,
and
yeah.
some new.
That's good.
Oh, that's interesting.
It is, it doesn't look like the same type of skeleton, so the white corals likely have just settled on the dead skeleton of a previous coral.
Go ahead and push on
Wow.
a little bit more in there, Marley.
So then the old
Because the
That's great
older
right there.
stuff looks old.
Yeah.
Like that looks,
Yeah, really old.
yeah,
it's got that ferromanganese crust growing all over it.
yeah.
Does that ever get called patina in an ocean context?
No, but I like it.
So that's
What's
the
the
thing.
non-ocean content?
I think
In
it's
the
minor,
Southwest, so
Marley.
on
I'll look at something
on
else.
rocks, as they weather, they'll get what's called a patina, and it's very similar to a ferromanganese crust that develops over time. And so you'll see a lot of like petroglyphs in the Southwest are actually etched into a patina.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah. You can't use it to date, because it weathers differently
Right.
depending on the location, orientation of the rock, but. Desert varnish is another word for patina.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I want to do another ship move.
Yep.
varnish is to like stain wood, and patina is to kind of color bronze and metals,
Yeah,
right?
they were just
Yeah.
So I guess patina maybe
Ooh, what's that?
makes the most sense for rocks.
Mm. Yes, from a literal
Literal standpoint.
standpoint.
Yeah, patinas are really cool
Yeah.
for bronze and
well, it's
stuff.
a keating nath in there.
Keating Nath.
It's one of my favorites.
While we're
Sorry,
scooting
I'm
around
Salazar.
here, I will
It's one of
also
your
say,
favorites.
so just another kind of neat thing about the Pacific Remote Islands Marine National Monument, which are the areas that we're in right now. This is one of the largest protected marine areas in the
Alright, Riley,
world,
go ahead and zoom on into
at
my
over 490,000 square miles of ocean that's protected.
screen. That's great right there. I'll kind of drive forward.
Look at that purple.
Alright, go ahead and push on in
So
some more.
funny. Everybody loves the purple.
It's just so striking because you're not
Yeah.
really expecting
great.
it.
yeah.
I mean, we don't encounter like vivid purple
gold
very
stuff.
often in a terrestrial
That's
context.
very true. That is very true.
And so it feels like a man-made color. It feels
Mm.
like an artificial color. So then to
What
see
about
it
flowers? I feel like there's a lot of purple
here-
flowers.
Violets, you're right. There are a lot of purple
Lavender.
flowers.
Is that a really
Not a lot of
coral
purple
stock down
animals.
there?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
not
no
a lot
purple,
of purple
animals.
animal.
Yeah.
I mean, there might be some, but not a lot. That's a very old stock of a once very large coral.
It's huge.
Yeah. Grandpa coral.
Yeah.
Or grandma, I suppose. Hey, Riley, go ahead and come on wide.
Man, if that was
Grand
like
person.
yeah, if that was an octocoral, that would have been massive.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I think pretty much anything we can see that looks grabbable and less in a pile of rubble, more near an outcrop would be a
Alright.
good rock.
Jess, I think if you go to your left, you can go more upslope.
Megan, do you want it off of like an overhangy type bits, or what you thinking?
If you go to the left, more,
Yeah, upslope should be like 160.
we've been seeing kind of like a longer, I mean, really, most of this I think is fine. This to the
But
left,
This is all connected.
yeah.
Yeah.
But there are little pieces, I think.
Yeah, the question is just, do you want to go more towards the top, or are you happy with getting a rock here?
We can keep going. I'm just, so what time do we have to come up?
In 15 minutes.
Well,
Right, we want to be on deck by
Yeah.
6:30.
Yeah, we have to come up sooner than later, but
yeah. Let's get maybe up over this little step here, and then look more seriously.
all right.
All right.
So if you slide towards me some, you should be able to do that.
Got all these corals on here too. It's nice. There's a little fish up in the upper right.
I'm gonna come up and I'll bring my heading around.
Sure thing. This looks more rubbly up here, Megan.
It does. It looks a little less ideal. Are we moving
Upslope.
upslope
now we're
or
back upslope.
where are we?
We went,
On Hypack, it looks like we're heading to the like southeast. Are we doing that or
yeah,
going straight
so
up?
We started going to the west of this, and then we started going upslope,
Okay.
but now we're heading more.
Right, now we're following the slope where it is here, but
Sure.
Argus
get
is
to the
still
top,
heading
top, yeah.
200.
I would do due south on the next
Yep.
Argus move.
But yeah, so we will go back up. Those-
A little bit. Do you mind doing a reset again?
Yeah. So
Something around this flow looks pretty good too.
Here-ish. By this flow here?
Yeah, the one on the left side of the screen. We can.
Wait, we'll have a look, then otherwise
Okay.
we'll stop the ship.
And by the time you get up there, you should be able to go to the west again.
Okay. Looks like Megan's saying that somewhere around here looks pretty good too, so we might have to stop the ship soon.
It's hard to tell if these are just buried and all connected or if there are actually fragments.
Looks like next to that
I
white
would argue
coral.
the one going off screen right now is a bit large, but
Yeah.
Left or
the
right?
fragment on the bottom.
Oh,
It
bottom.
just went, yeah.
There's also one here
Cool.
by the lasers right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those look
That'd be a
good.
good candidate for you.
Yeah.
There's the kind of
The
more
one up to the...
longer one.
Yeah, I like that
We'll
one.
stop the ship in.
I think she's talking about that kind of slash one,
The one, yeah, this
just
one
above
here.
the lasers now.
Yeah, that
Is
one's
that what
kind
you're?
of cool. Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's
I
disconnected or
can't tell
not,
if
but we
that's...
can
Yeah.
give it a go.
Ah.
And the one... Oh, that has a coral on it.
I mean, that's okay.
Any more of these?
That one, the one that Greg was just talking about, I think he knows.
Slashy one?
Yeah, to the left. I'm not totally convinced that we'll be able to get that off.
Yeah, I
don't
agree,
know.
But if you
we
want to
can-
try that...
we can do a quick land.
Yeah.
I'm still swinging, so we have time to do a quick land and group test.
So we're trying to get one more rock before we have to ascend in a couple minutes.
That looks fully attached.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks great, though.
You guys still want me to land and get this one, or you want me to go to the right place?
Not that one.
Yeah, I don't think it's super promising. Can you zoom out a little bit?
We're full wide.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
full wide. Oh.
What about that little one on the
Yeah,
right?
I do see that one. We could look over to the right or
Just
to the
left.
left.
Look more right.
Yeah.
What about this one underneath all this coral rubble?
The little guy?
It's too much in the sand.
The one with the lasers?
Yeah.
Next to the lasers.
No, I don't think so. I think that's attached too.
Roger.
Let's see if there's
That
anything
one's
in
too
there.
big.
Indeed. These all look very
But check
attached.
towards the bottom of that one. There might be something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like there's a bunch of rubble coming up over there. Yeah, it looks like over here.
Jess, I'm gonna, from a time standpoint, I will take arm.
Roger.
You take flying.
Flying grab and go. What about the ones beneath the
Oh.
lasers right now?
Yeah, or the one right above. Oh no, that's attached. Yeah,
There's
any,
also like
any
a-
of those look good if
Alright.
they're possible. They look a little in place to me, but
Roger.
oh, there's a couple that look less in place.
The ones above there, I think
Yeah.
would be pretty good.
Yeah.
Changing my heading here. Might be a little bit of a reach down there, Greg. There's this rock in the way.
It took bubble for a moment.
Roger.
That basalt is so shiny.
Yeah, it has a real sheen to it.
That's your patina, right?
Is it? Is it the ferromanganese crust?
Yeah.
No, when it's
Nice.
attached.
Yeah, that looks very attached. What about right below it? Right there, yeah. No.
Down a bit. Oh, that's
Oh.
good.
Oh.
We got a
I think-
loose one.
Yeah, I think
Hey.
that one will move.
I'm going to set down a little bit here, Greg.
Okay, I'm gonna pick up.
Down. Sorry, Shrimp. Okay, you're gonna stable out. No. Alright,
Nice.
I'm just gonna fly manuals, no stick lock. That's a nice rock.
Great.
It's a real nice rock.
That looks excellent.
A donut-shaped rock.
I'm gonna dust it off a little bit. Nice. Thank you.
So if you ever see a stuffed animal at the arcade, you need
Clean
Greg
it
to
up.
go with you.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah. Are you really good at that arcade game?
I haven't
Great.
played it since I started doing this.
Ah, yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna
also
press stick
I mean,
one.
really, you've gone pro, so it wouldn't be fair.
completely different
Yes.
controlling mechanism.
Okay, well, if you want to be technical about it.
Yeah, but at least he's in the same room with the arm.
True.
It's true.
True. Pros and cons.
Also, this one is designed to make it possible for you to do it.
True.
Whereas the one in the arcade is designed to make it
Megan,
impossible.
Where are
Yeah.
we gonna put this guy?
Just on the porch.
Roger.
Yeah, we're gonna lay Mongo on top of it.
Alright, I need to rack back when you're done.
There's a lot of rustiness on there.
Yeah. It seems to be happening when they're buried in the sediment a little bit.
Ooh.
One back.
This is 088.
Excellent oxidation.
It's crazy to me that the oxidation rate just can't permeate through such a small amount of sediment. I mean, it's not like it was really buried underneath.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's like rapid redox
Yeah.
microbial strata that
Ooh.
like kind of drains it down.
Should we drop a weight now? Or should we do it later?
It's the like first electron acceptor to go in this oxygen.
Yeah, yeah. It's,
Sorry. Dual stack. Rusty.
A trade.
how much do these weigh?
It depends on the size of the
The
rock.
weight that we dropped.
Oh,
Oh, that's
The rock I
rocks.
figure changes.
I don't remember how much these weigh. I think they're like
16.
for 20, I can't remember. But these
However,
are
they're
double
20
stacked.
pounds apiece, so that's about 32. All right, Jess, if you want to camera over, I'll stow the arm.
Reg.
Sorry, that was my fault. I
So
changed
we
from
only have about
iron with
10
other
minutes
minerals
left
to
of
just
this
iron.
Yeah.
before I don't
Yeah.
know if you guys
And
want
then
to
I'm
split
assuming we're
it.
taking the Niskin a little bit up in the water column?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Like
Did you
20
wanna-
meters.
Did you want to explore anywhere else?
No,
No,
it's
I
time to
think we're
recover.
yeah
Yep.
out of time.
Oh, well.
How high up to take the Niskin?
20 meters is good.
Okay. Jess, I'm ready to come up when you are.
Done up. What's gonna
So
be our
this
head-
Niskin
I'm looking
that we're
south.
collecting is
I have
a
to look
control.
west, and you have to
Yeah,
drive
so this
east.
we've taken
Yeah, we're
4 other
like
Niskins
9.5.
today
Yeah.
around high abundance or diversity areas, and
1.2
today we will, right now, we will pull a Niskin for a control for the environmental DNA analysis. So essentially an area where there shouldn't be
Actually, Jess, I have to
too
go.
much coral
what?
DNA
I have to
in
go
the
east, and you have
water.
to go west.
Mhm.
Yeah, so which,
So the
he's
ship's
going east, yeah.
095.
Yeah, I agree. Roger.
Sure.
Oh. I'm gonna get
That was a
my-
clutch rock
I'm gonna
find at the last minute
fish around
there.
and then I'll hand it off.
Sweet.
Really nice rock. I have gotten like really invested
Oh,
in
yeah,
finding
that's
the
true. Never mind.
rocks now.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah. See
the
you
process
later.
of getting the rocks and getting them collected.
Definitely.
Sorry if I eat today.
Is it embedded?
I didn't
is
eat
it
yesterday. Yesterday, no, I
loose?
didn't even
Mhm.
eat.
Is
There's
it
a whole science to rocks.
Rockology.
Collecting the right rocks.
Did you say rockology,
You know what it's
Brandon?
called?
Is that the technical term?
Rockology?
You're a rockologist?
Sure, why
You're
not?
you're a volcanist, so you're a fire rockologist. You're an
Yeah.
underwater
Yeah,
fire
I'm backing up right now.
rockologist.
It's
This
like when
is
I met
true.
an astronomer once and I called him an astrologist.
Oh,
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's always good.
It's a little embarrassing.
Oh my god.
It's only briefly.
It's such a Pisces thing to do.
I need to drop both weights, actually.
Everyone cringes
I,
slightly.
I don't know if that is in fact a Pisces thing to do or if that has any meaning.
I know, I don't know.
Nor do I know
Nobody
what your
knows.
sign is. So that was
That was just a joke.
just a jokes. Just jokes. Just jokes.
Joking.
Just joshing.
Joshing with you.
We're still heavy right now. Yeah. I'll just get you over, Gabby, and then I'll hand off.
As we're starting to kind of head up here and folks are logging off, one of the cool things is that we've been doing on these dives is collecting all this amazing baseline data that helps us as like the Fish and Wildlife Service and NOAA better manage these big protected spaces. And a lot of the areas that we're seeing, we haven't seen this part of the seaport before. It's the first time it's been explored or mapped. But I think one really important thing to remember is the islands around where we are, the islands around these seamounts have been used by humans for centuries. Ooh, what did we just, something just came by.
Looks like
There's
a fish,
came by.
cuskeel. Yeah.
So there's really good evidence, like especially on Howland and some of the other, all of these like remote atolls and islands, like humans have been using them for thousands of years, and the ancient wayfarers were aware of them and using them. So, you know, when we talk about discovery, we're talking about like a lot of scientific and deep sea discovery, but we're not discovering these spaces. They've been used by humans for a very, very long time.
Very well said.
Oh wait, do you mind if I just have a... Do you mind if I have a look real quick?
Look at our porch with all our toys.
Yeah, the one altitude is 50.
That's a good front porch right there. That's the kind of front porch you want to sit back on at the end of a long day.
Yeah.
Some
Hey,
lemonade.
Alexis.
Get a little hammock.
Yes.
Watch
Do you
the
want
fireflies.
to Niscan 50 altitude? Good for you?
Yes.
All right.
Excellent.
Whichever one is left,
Full
Megan.
racked.
Yeah, we've got a couple.
Okay.
9,
Full in.
11, and 12. Sample sheets have seen a beating. Every time I come in here, they're all like shredded.
Intense science. Hardcore.
Somebody's like,
Got it.
like working out with them.
Got it?
Which one did you go for? 11?
It was the forwardmost one.
She pulled
I
the
think that
The
was
orange one?
11.
That was the
one
green-
below the orange one.
The green
like
one?
12.
Was it the green one?
The green one, yes.
Okay, that's 12.
Sorry, Mike. All right, Gabby. Do you want to reset that one when you get a sec there, Ben? So it should be like over there. All right,
So we
Gabs.
are headed
yours.
to the surface. We'll be recovering the vehicles and then transiting roughly 3 days to Johnston Atoll. So hope everybody enjoys the rest of their week
Yep.
and wants to tune in on the weekend when we'll be getting back in the water.
I mean, is there any better way to spend your weekend? You get up with your coffee,
It actually is really nice.
you kick back,
When you can
turn
do
on
this.
some Nautilus Live. You do it's the great background for while you're cleaning.
It is.
It's, you know, you can put it, you know, record it and then put it in your earbuds and go for a run listening to it. All the things.
Ooh, I never thought about that.
Me either.
Have you done that?
But you could do it.
Holly's like, it's something
I mean,
one
I-
could try.
I haven't, but it's a great idea. Maybe I'll do it.
Also, Herc isn't the only thing that's a little heavier. We're all grab some dinner and switch out a little bit. In case you guys hear some
There you
transition.
go.
Way to call us all out, Brandon.
Just because we've
It's
been
not. It's hard to work out on the ship. A lot of food around.
a lot of good food around.
For some.
Oh,
it's true.
sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Not all.
Look at that porch.
Let's see, what did we get today? 9 coral samples. It might actually be 10 because I think I forgot to write one down. But our data logger definitely wrote it down. And then
This is true.
we have 5 other types of biology. A purple sea urchin, which today I read online that sea urchins got their name because hedgehogs used to be called urchins. So they're technically sea hedgehogs.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
And apparently in Russian it still translates to sea hedgehog.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a great name.
It is.
Cutie.
Sea hedgehog.
And then we have a two pieces of different sponges, potentially a tube anemone, and then a small type of foraminifera. 5 rocks, 5 niskins, full day.
Yep.
Full day of science.
Full day of sciencing. So speaking of full day of sciencing, I mean, this is like the exciting sciencing bit, right? We're going out with a remote operated vehicle in the middle of the ocean and diving around and doing like cool science stuff. But what happens to the sciencey stuff after this dive? Like what happens to these samples?
So I can talk about it, but Megan is the data
Oh,
manager.
So the first thing is that we'll take them out of the vehicle. So part of what we're doing on the dive is making sure we know where everything is going, where it all came from, things like this, so that when we get an ROV full of samples, we can go collect them and know where they all came from and have all that great metadata, data about the data. And then we bring them to our wet lab on the ship, just across the deck from where the vehicles land. And we process the biological samples first. So the corals and the sponges and the associates and things like this. And usually what we mean by process is we preserve them. So yeah, so that's something that we do kind of as a team. And then we will process the rocks once those are done, and the eDNA water filtering will go on. And then there's some sort of background dry lab or data lab work that we do to sort of tie up all of the dive data. We try to get that done before the vehicles are back on deck for the next dive. It's kind of the process.
And then some of these samples, like we will have collected it because like a scientist on shore is watching and said, "Hey, can you grab that?" Do we ship that to that scientist, or do they access it some other?
No, they request it through the Nautilus request form. So all of them go to, all the biology samples go to MCZ, which is the Harvard
Museum of Comparative Zoology.
Yeah. And then where do the geology samples go?
Those go to the Marine Geological Samples Lab at the Graduate School of Oceanography at the University of Rhode Island. It's a little bit of a mouthful.
That is a mouthful.
I used to work at both of those places.
Our intrepid data logger here.
They're basically libraries of deep sea samples of various types, as well as many other samples, which is really cool.
That's really awesome.
So some of like the original Darwin expedition species are at the MCZ, and we've got massive collection of deep sea lava flows from around the world at MGSL.
So as we're just coming up through the blue water here, if you really wanted, you could go to YouTube and you could start the dive over again. Catch all the things that you missed.
You could do that. You could watch the previous dives.
All the stuff. All the stuff is in there.
Go to Nautilus Live and find all the lessons that go with it and learn about all the things.
Or you could go to Nautilus's Facebook page or their Twitter, where they like share a lot of the highlights.
Oh yeah, they
from all the
released
dives.
the Deep Staria video,
Yeah, check out the Deep Staria Enigmatica video.
which is a jellyfish, which is really cool.
Super cool jellyfish. Alternately, you could go to the USFWS Pacific Twitter, which is our Twitter that we run for the Pacific Islands for the Fish and Wildlife Service here. Check that out. We shared some stuff too.
Yeah.
Plug it.
They've been tweeting it up.
Yep. Interact with us. Ask us questions on social as well.
Yeah. I've been trying to tweet, but I'm not good at it when I'm busy.
Me too.
Tweeting is hard.
I'm more of a bubbler.
I'm more of a sleeper than a tweeter.
More of a bubbler.
Yeah, what does that mean?
I don't know. What
Remember
that
we
means.
had that conversation?
I'm trying to remember what it meant.
Because it was birds versus
versus fish. So Twitter is with
Oh.
like tweets and birds
That's right.
and bubblers.
And you're not sub-aerial, so you don't tweet.
Yeah, no, I'm more of a bubbler.
You're a bubbler. Got it.
Yeah. It's like a meta Twitter.
Nick, I think it's a watch inside joke, so we don't get it, you know?
Yeah, sorry.
It's
just
all right.
not in the crib.
I'm just trying to keep up, you know?
Yeah, sorry, you're- I mean, I'm on the watch, and I didn't get the joke right away because I forgot it.
It was too meta for you. Sorry.
Too meta.
It lives in my failed short-term recall. I do remember that the bubbler came up, and that's when I shared that bubblers is a term for water fountains in the Midwest.
Interesting.
It's
I've never
true.
heard that before.
I hadn't either, but it is true. Any folks from the Midwest, particularly Wisconsin?
Did you guys see anything on the last portion of the dive? Anything interesting?
Ah. Alexis?
Well, we saw a lot of those white, what I think are pleurocorallium, which we haven't seen on any other dive, so that's interesting. Saw a lot of rocks.
Oh, what?
Yeah, surprise, surprise.
Yep, a lot of
Crazy.
rocks, I know.
We did not see carbonate formation, so
Nope.
means probably
No corals.
not reaching the
On the reef.
surface.
Yeah. So this seamount this seamount or ancient volcano never broke the surface. Probably.
Probably.
But there's still, again, a lot we don't know about the
Right.
seamounts here and the underlying geologic formations.
And we saw all that coral rubble, so there must have been at least some scleractinian growth, even if they were cold water corals, but died off because we didn't see any live
It
scleractinians.
was really interesting with those really big patches of
Yeah.
very old coral. Did we? I think I asked this earlier, but I think we ended up looking at something. Do we know, like, what's the rate at which the ferromanganese crust forms on things?
It's like 10 millimeters per million years or something like that.
Wow, so
Yeah.
slowly.
1 to 10 millimeters per million years.
This is so
That's
hard
a
for me
big
to wrap my
range.
brain around.
That's a really
geology.
1 to 10 millimeters per how long? Per million?
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
that is quite a range there.
It's so hard to think of something as happening per million years.
I know.
Oh, that's
Well,
not a-
not for you though.
Yeah, I mean, you've been
You
around
know.
for millennia.
You've been around for millennia, studying corals for ages.
I mean, do you not remember this?
I haven't
She's
been
a
watching.
million years old. Come
Yeah.
on.
Apparently 3 million.
3.
It's just
At
getting
least
longer
3.
and
You've just
longer.
been studying corals.
It'd be
for
pretty
3.
cool to be 3 million years old.
It's a little long for my taste.
Yeah, but like time wouldn't even be a concept if you were like just living forever.
That's true.
right?
That's true. Then you would be a time lord.
I'm-
You would have 2 hearts and you would travel space and time with companions.
Is this a Doctor Who thing?
This is
okay.
Here we go.
Yes,
Yep.
ladies and gentlemen, this is the Nerd Navy.
Even though I've never seen Doctor Who, so I should watch it. I just haven't had the time because I've been sciencing for 3 million years.
You've been very busy sciencing for a long time now.
It's a long science life.
Mm-hmm.
Albert's looking at us like we're crazy.
Yeah,
Albert's
Albert's
not
like-
normally on our watch, so he's like, "Whoa, did
I
I
am
dodge
the
a bullet?"
navigator, and we're going to be on time.
Yeah, you guys stick
You
to the plan,
did a
okay?
very bad job on being on time. Like, our
Hey.
plan was to get to the summit,
Oh man.
Oh man.
So
and
walking in
apparently
phone
you found
shade.
something interesting on the way.
Always.
Well, we had to get a rock, so we had to go backwards to the most
Rocky.
summity area we could make it
Lovely
to in
rock.
time.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. Choices, Albert. You have to make choices in life.
Albert is our timekeeper for the ship.
Yeah, we were able to do like 1,700 meters almost in our watch.
Whoa, that is a lot. I'm impressed.
Credit where credit's due. That's well done.
But to be fair, to get me to be able to do so, they made fun of me because I like, hey, we have a plan, we have to go. Hey, we have a plan, we have to go. Hey, we have.
It sounds like you, doesn't it?
And yeah, and they were like, oh, come on, let's have fun.
It's about quality,
It's
not
fun.
quantity, right?
It is about quality,
Albert
but
only
we
likes
also it
planned
is
fun.
important to cover
It's
our
about
track.
it's about everything.
It's about everything.
It's about a balance.
It is.
It's about your quality and quality, quality and
fast,
quality,
Quality and quality.
quality and quality,
Both. They're
Both
both very
quality.
important.
and quality.
You know what's fun is the ROV like ran a 5K today.
Oh wow. I mean, I don't know if I'd say
All right.
ran.
It's gonna be
Swam.
us and
It
a
flew.
fly.
It flew. They refer to it as flying.
Yeah, yeah, they
It
do.
thrusted.
It thrusted.
Thrusted. Okay.
It flew a 5K today.
Yeah, if only Herc was bigger on the inside, we would have so much sample space.
Indeed.
It's true.
Wow.
A little Doctor Who reference.
That's-
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
See,
it's a,
I
It's a
didn't.
Doctor Who reference.
didn't get it.
Yeah. Let's see. Alexis, do you have a favorite thing that you've seen so far in this dive?
On this dive or overall?
Let's see, for this expedition.
For this expedition, I have to say, I mean, the Deep Staria is super cool. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's like this jellyfish that kind of spooked. It was on a different watch, but I was watching in the lounge. It just like showed up, and it looks like a ghost. And then as it got thrusted around, it just like continued to expand. And there's an isopod inside. It was just great. I've never seen anything like
was
that.
wild. That isopod living inside it was really.
Yeah, it was bright red.
interesting.
It was super cool. It was like 20 centimeters too, which is pretty big.
What would be the benefit for the isopod of living inside that?
I mean, it's a home.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a really sweet home.
yeah.
Yeah.
It gets
So
to
it's the
move around
safety.
a lot. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
See
Like
the
that
world.
jellyfish is moving a lot more than that isopod would on its own, probably.
What does the
And it's
isopod eat?
probably stuff.
Snacks.
Snacks.
Honestly, probably snacks from the jellyfish. Like, it'll probably take some of the food that the
Yeah.
jellyfish is catching.
The jelly. Well, so Deep Starias, they have Holly
Jellyfish snacks.
Like, Holly like that. The Deep Staria has its bell open, and it's just drifting along, and things are going up in it, and the little crustacean guy gets to snack on those things too.
Oh, okay.
So as the Deep Staria eats, the crustacean eats inside the Deep Staria eating.
Wow.
Yeah, meta.
Meta.
Wow. That crustacean's got it made.
You know what?
It does.
That's deep.
That's
Staria.
Is Deep Starry. Deep Staria sounds like a Led Zeppelin album
Yeah.
or something.
I
David
did
Bowie.
Yeah.
I did a whole live event series themed after Deep Staria actually last
Ooh.
last year. mesmerizing footage.
Pretty
Um,
cool.
Does the other deep Staria species, do all of them have the little crustacean inside?
Well, so the one that we found in 2017 was Deep Staria enigmatica.
Yeah,
I thought they weren't totally sure that this one was an enigmatica.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that this one could be a different species, but definitely Deep Staria, I'm not sure. But the one that we saw had a, benthic crustacean living inside. It was an isopod.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was very noticeable as well.
Yeah.
And we saw on that same cruise a few smaller ones, like much thinner bells and like much tinier in size near the seafloor. And one of them, there was a crazy predation event of, I think, like squat lobsters eating this Deep Staria, this little baby
Whoa.
one.
What?
It was pretty crazy. Yeah, we have some excellent still photos from the Miso GoPro cam that was on the vehicle at the time, which was, captured some really great like perspective shots from the seafloor.
That's pretty amazing. Is that called a commensal relationship when you've got like the isopod living inside the...
I know for enigmatica, at least for the articles I was reading at the time, they're not totally sure if it's commensal or
Mutualistic
or all the various
predatory,
relations. Yeah, they don't know because it's really hard to study since you can't really sample it. So
Interesting.
not that much work has been done on those large medusas.
I feel like that's so many of the things that we see down here too, like with the coral, with the crinoids and the others like living on it, like what exactly is their relationship to each other? Sometimes it's really clear and sometimes it's not.
Yeah, that's definitely true. There's still a lot of work to be done on associations. They used to call them all, it used to be that everything was called a mutualism, but they changed the language because we don't know if mutualistic means like both are benefiting.
Right.
Okay.
And since we don't know that, they changed it to an association.
Okay.
So that like, we know that they're associated with each other, but we don't know if either one are benefiting, if neither are benefiting.
So it's like, it's complicated? It's complicated
Yes.
relationship status of the deep sea?
All of them are.
That's great. We missed Ben.
Oh.
Holly, I'm just sitting down, but I'm hoping you address this bubbler situation.
The bubbler came up again, and I made the mistake of saying that the Midwest calls a water fountain a bubbler, and we have been corrected in the comments by a Minnesotan that wants us to know that only Wisconsin calls it a bubbler. And that's fair. That's fair.
That's
I married
true.
into
That's
a Wisconsin family, and they do call it a bubbler, but no one else does. The bubbler situation has been addressed.
Critical. First thing I saw when I sat down.